Hello, LegendAqua here for my favorite animes of spring 2023. So, let's start off with Heaven's Delusions, and here's the thing, for this one, it came at a really bad time. Seriously, it did. I was interested in it, and there was some hype about this. I was, again, interested, but timing was a bad thing, so I basically did not touch this. I will look at this at a further date, but I didn't watch it this season, unfortunately, so not much beyond that. I can't really say anything because I haven't watched any of the episodes. I have heard a lot of the hype behind it, but I didn't watch it. Simple and clean as that. So I'm leaving that as it is. The next one is The Dangers in My Heart, and this one, oh boy, I was right about this one. So in my most anticipated spring 2023 video, I did say that I did see a lot of chemistry between Anna and Kota. And I was right on the money. I knew it. I knew this romance anime was something different, and it did. Like, for this one, The Dangers of My Heart, like, at first, it's a bit gimmicky because Kyotaro wants to kill Anna, but let's just say over time, because he's in his goth emo phase in a sense, Anna is basically the maniac pixie girl. And she opens up to him. Sorry, he opens up to her instead of the other way around. The chemistry between these two is absolutely great and wholesome, heartwarming, all that with the romance anime. And there's no gimmicks towards it. Yes, at the start, it's sort of gimmicky, again, with Kyotaro and everything, but this is like, it feels absolutely genuine. Absolutely, it is one of the best romance animes of this season. I think it is, in my opinion, it is actually the best romance anime for this season. 100%, and it's because of these two. These two carried the show 100%, and considering it's a romance anime, it actually, you know, lived up to the title of a romance anime. Who would have thunk that? And the best part is, as you can see here, it's getting a sequel. I am so hyped for this one. Oh my god, like this. Seriously, if you just want like a non-gimmicky, non-supernatural romance anime that is wholesome, tons of romance, and all that, this is it. This is it. I'm so hyped for a second season. What am I going to give it? 9. Because I know it can get better. It can get better, and that is namely because second season. Like, come on, second season. It is going to get better. Yes, I really like this show. Next up is Eden Zero, second season, and this may be a 2-cour anime because it's still going. Yeah, it's still going. I won't go into too much spoilers, but let's just say it's just getting pretty good in where it's going. It pretty much completed it completed one arc. A lot of developments from several of the characters, and we're going to a new arc and huge plot twist. Like, again, I can't go into spoilers with this one, but let's just say where it's heading, I very much like it. Absolutely. So it's going to get a pretty high score either way. But we'll see next season what I actually thought about it. Okay, from that, oh boy, okay, here we go. So from getting absolutely hyped, oh god, this one. Okay, so I believe I remember in my most anticipated video for this season, I pretty much said, you know, this could be an anime that could not be just like a variety show or something. It could actually focus on the plot. be interesting, focus on Kizuna Ai. It could be good. Long of the short of it is, I got bored of it. I'm not kidding. If it's to the point that I'm actually snoozing while I'm trying to watch it, it's doing something wrong. And no, this is not even when that NFT section ending screen happened around like episode 4 or something. Because I technically finished this anime around episode 5, so I watched like one episode after that NFT ending thing. There was some huge, not a huge uproar, but there was a bit of an uproar on Twitter about this entire NFT thing, about Kizuna Ai shilling out to NFT. The thing is, I already knew that Kizuna Ai was actually shilling to NFTs. Like the production company that makes Kizuna Ai videos and everything, I knew they were shilling NFTs. I just wasn't expecting them to actually put an NFT thing in this anime. It was so out of left field. It was so weird. But I knew that. But that wasn't the main problem why I might as well say it, I didn't finish this anime. Because, as I said, like brass tacks, I was bored out of my mind. The characters feel like nothing in terms of character development beyond I want to be the best VTuber ever. And heck, one of the characters, I believe, Miracle, she says that even she knows she's like an average person. Like, they acknowledge it. But at the same time, like the storylines felt like it went nowhere. It was extremely slow paced. I didn't feel anything for any of the characters. I just got bored of it every single time I try to watch the next episode. Nothing latched onto me within the first 5 episodes. And considering I kept on snoozing, like I believe I started to like snooze around like episode 3 onwards. If that is having an effect on me towards an anime, it is doing something wrong. So I can't say much. I would give it a low score, but considering I haven't finished it, I can't give it a score. But it's getting the drop status because of that. Because straight up, it was one of the most boring animes I've ever watched. Like, I'm sorry if there are some people who actually do like this anime, but for me, it was so boring. Oh god. On the opposite of boring, Idolmaster Cinderella Girls U149. I have done a full episode by episode anime review on this entire season. You can look it up if you need to. TLDR, it is another installment from the Idolmaster series, and it's looking at a different division, and they're pretty much the underdogs, and they're trying to become idols. The catchers, they're little kids, basically. And with that underdog story, and considering Side Games is on this and everything, I've talked about pretty much everything about this in my episode reviews of this series, so look them up. Overall, to me, it was pretty good for an Idolmaster anime, as per usual. I would probably give it, like, it's got the entire theme down, it looked at all the characters, developed them so I can get to know them, some drama at the end, the typical anime stuff for an idol anime stuff and everything. Overall, it was good. I will give it a great. The thing is, I am hoping for a second season so that Makino Yagami can actually get a voice cameo. I said this in my episode reviews, but you know what I mean by that. There's a higher chance in the second season. I want there to be a second season of this one. There is no announcements yet, Yeah, no announcements of a second season, but I'm hoping so. The Idolmaster brand is actually very strong in Japan. That is a fact. I do hope there's an announcement for the second season for this anime, because I am praying for a voice cameo from Makino Yagami, please. Overall, good anime, very good anime. Next up is Megumin's anime series, or should I say it's a prequel before the actual main series happened. So again, this is basically Megumin's backstory before she got to the town of beginnings, and we get to see how she started out, as well as her friendship with Union. Basically, that's what this is, and considering that because of this anime, it did, I believe it's getting a second season through, sorry, not second season, a third season as well. So let me check, character sequel, and then the next one, where's the next one? Yeah, oh, sorry, movie afterwards, I forgot. After the movie, yeah, it's getting us the main parent story for Konosuba is getting a third season. It means it did pretty good in reception and everything, because it does help with Megumin's backstory. I actually very much liked it, especially with her relationship with Union, but also there are pretty good cameos and references towards its parent story of Konosuba, because as I said, this is Megumin's story. And let's just say that Megumin pretty much had a hand as to what happened in some stuff that had happened in Konosuba quite early on, oddly enough. Yeah. So this is a nice tie-in, spin-off, prequel in a sense. Pretty much, like, it's Megumin. Come on, it is Megumin with Rie Takahashi. Like, without a doubt. Overall, I would probably give this another 9 as well. It is very good. Like, it kept up with all the references, the timeline, developing Megumin as a character even further, considering we know her from the parent story and everything. Like, we absolutely get it. It is so good. Also, we do get to see why she went on her journey in the first place, not just because he's an explosion magician and everything, but she does have a goal in mind. And considering there's a sequel for this one, we may touch up on that. So who knows? So this is a nice, as I said, this is a nice tie-in towards everything that's going on in the Konosuba universe at the moment. Very much liked it. Easy 9. Alright, next up. This one. So I heard a lot of bad things about this one, namely the animation. And guess what? Much like Heavenly Delusions, I didn't watch it. Yeah, I didn't watch it. Timing and everything, I didn't watch it. I again have heard the stuff about the animation, the 3D, especially the 3D CGI, but I haven't watched it. So I can't really say much beyond about the weird animation rumors I've been hearing about. Well, it's not exactly rumors, it's facts, but yeah. I can't say much beyond that. Next up is my job. Yeah, Yuri is my job. So, I believe in my most anticipated video thing before, I instantly gravitated to this one and instantly wanted to watch it. However, I didn't read the synopsis properly, oddly enough. And the thing is, I pretty much like it. One way or another, I pretty much like it for several reasons, but this one has layers towards it. This one definitely has layers towards it. I won't spoil it as much, but for what it's got it going with it, considering that Yuri anime is attached towards like some bit of drama and character development towards all that, with a bit of romance spliced in. It's your typical it's your typical Yuri bait anime. And I'm saying the bait part in quotation marks a lot. I'm not gonna spoil it because if you guys have watched this, you guys know what I'm talking about. Overall, in terms of character development towards the main cast, absolutely. However, the ending does go full, you know, read the light novel, read the manga please kind of scenario. Overall, not bad. It did curveball me because I didn't actually read the synopsis properly, but beyond that, it's still good. I think in terms of favorite character, I think it actually became Sumika. I think so. Yeah, like she didn't get much screen time until the later half, but still pretty good. I actually do like her character a lot. So what would I give it? It's not bad, but I'm not giving it a great. I think I'll give it a probably 8 at best. It is decent slash good. It's nearly there. It is nearly there. Next up is The Hero is Dead. Okay, so this one is a bit of a roller coaster one. So considering that, you know, the main legendary hero died by just some peasant and he became the legendary hero by necromancy. At the start, it is crazy as hell. There's so many itchy elements towards this one. But then later on, it just sort of delved into your typical fantasy hero versus the demon army kind of scenario. With a slight caveat, I still liked it. Like again, it still kept up with its crazy itchy energy at times. But at times it felt like, you know, the entire parody situation of, you know, oh, here's a peasant farmer who killed the legendary hero, and now he has to become the legendary hero to defeat the demon army and everything. That kind of parody angle at the start was actually pretty bent as it was. But let's just say, as it gone on, I know that it still had its flavor of parody there. But at some points it felt like it just kind of bent outwards back towards being a regular fantasy hero anime. It still had the flavor, slightly. But it felt like it just, like what it was parodying, it was changing into exactly what it was parodying, you know? Was it still bad? No, again, the flavor of its like craziness was there, and I actually do still like it because it still kept towards its premise and executed it mostly alright. Mostly alright. I'm not gonna say perfectly, it almost did, because as soon as we get to the backstory of the peasant slash the main character, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it does kind of it does kind of ruin it ever so slightly. Not completely, but just ever so slightly, and that's kind of why it's okay. It's okay. So overall, I think I would give this 8. It's the same thing how I feel about Yuri Is My Job. Oddly enough, these two came out at the same time, so yeah, kind of funny there. Because they both gave me the energy of, hey, we're being a parody, but we're also playing it straight when we want to. Not completely harmful or bad, it's just that I did feel it sometimes. Tonikaku Kawaii second season. Well, this is just the second season. Expanded character cast, and we do get to see some character development towards not only the main cast, but obviously the main couple as well. Beyond that, it is basically the same thing that we usually see, all the lovey-dovey stuff as per usual, and the fact that they're married and everything, and they're trying to figure out, you know, what's it like to be married. Per usual, exactly from the first season, but more in this season. However, they do hint at what Tsukasa is at the same time, but they don't give the answer properly. Whether that's deliberate or not, I do not know, but the anime just touched on it, especially near the finale. I am still curious what Tsukasa is, but for the most part, it's if you like Tonikaku Kawaii from the first season, this is more of the same. Maybe a bit more. I can't go beyond that in terms of spoilers, if there are any spoilers of this one, to be honest. It was alright. It was alright. It's a nice slice of life romance anime. If it's in comparison towards My Dangers in My Heart wins that 100%. Okay, next up is Mahou Shoujo Magical Destroyers. Okay, so this one, I immediately did gravitate towards this one when I actually first read the premise and everything. It went crazy. It went absolutely crazy with this one. And it went to your, you know, regular evil person of the episode and using otaku scenarios. They tackle it, defeat the evil person and everything. However, it is not till towards the finale arc. It went crazier. Not what I expected. Like in terms of spoilers and everything, but just what the hell happened? I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but it's a good thing. But at the same time, what the heck happened? Like, it's good. It is absolutely good. It kept its heart to its chest 100%. But for what happened with the finale, what is going on? But it feels like they're going to hit towards the second season, or maybe it's going to turn into read the light novel ending, read the manga kind of scenario. I can't pinpoint this one. I can't pinpoint this one. Overall, it did keep to its premise, it did keep to its execution a lot until the finale. The finale just did its own thing. I can't pinpoint it beyond that. It was fine. It was fine. It was fine. I'm giving it an 8. It could be a 9, but again, the finale, I don't know either. I don't know what to think about it. Like, it's good, but how good? You know? So I'm giving it an 8. At best. If it does a second season or something to resolve whatever happened in the finale, maybe. But I don't know beyond that. Migamin no Cafe Terrace. Okay, so this is basically quintessential quintuplets, just with a different setting. I'm being absolutely serious with this one. Even though I did read the premise, I believe in my anticipated video and everything, this is basically quintessential quintuplets under a different setting. 5 girls, they all want the main character, and they all have backstories that kind of revolve around the main character, or they've got their own issues and they fall in love with the main character. And the main character is a hard ass as well. Yeah, hint hint. This is basically quintessential quintuplets, 100% in a different setting. What did I think about it overall? Even though I compared this a lot towards, you know, quintessential quintuplets and everything, I believe, well, for one, yeah, it's getting a second season to round everything off. It's just, if I disassociate the fact that it's very similar towards quintessential quintuplets, It's decent for a harem anime because we do get to see, you know, development towards most of the harem. I believe the only person we haven't actually got a backstory towards was Ami. Everybody else we basically have, and considering Ami is the comedic relief and everything, we may get to see a backstory in the next season. Not to mention the hinting at the fact that there's a winner between this harem, between this entire harem and everything. Because we do get to see a flash forward, again, another hint towards quintessential quintuplets, but overall, again, if I disassociate with quintessential quintuplets, what do I think about it? It was alright. It was alright for what it did. It's not absolutely horrible or anything. It's alright for what it did. It's definitely alright for what it did. If it can, in the second season, maybe shift something up or something of a plot twist happens within the harem aspect to make it different towards quintessential quintuplets instead of trying to ape it, it could go somewhere. But for what it's worth, this does feel like a carbon copy of quintessential quintuplets, just under a cafe setting. That's it. If I had to advertise it, that is probably how I would advertise it. Otanari no Ginga. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, this one. Again, I believe I looked into this one because it involved the mangaka and everything. This one is just a pure slice of life romance anime with one supernatural twist. Yeah, something that I was hoping that Dangers in My Heart wouldn't have, but this one does. But overall, even with its supernatural aspect towards it, it is very much a slice of life romance anime to a T, to an absolute T. The major problem I will say about this romance anime, even though like it's alright for its genre, it's not that slow. Okay, fine, it's kind of slow, but the chemistry between these two doesn't get properly resolved until the finale. And because of that, it does feel very slow, but we do get to see that pretty much the main female protagonist is basically an ace and everything. But with the fact that the main guy, well, he's not dense. He's not dense because considering the scenario, the supernatural scenario he's put in, he does get swayed a lot through the plot. Like, it's not within his reasoning and urgency to do it, and then he gets swept up towards the entire romance angle. He's not dense, but with how slow the pacing is, again, I know it's slice of life and everything, but considering how much of a slice of life this is, like, it's not bad. It is not bad. It's a slow-paced, deliberately slow-paced slice of life romance. Again, if I had to compare it to Dangers in My Heart, which is probably my favorite romance anime for this season, comparing to this, it would lose. It would lose 100%. Like it's good. It's good. It looks at a different aspect towards this kind of scenario, even though it's slow paced. And the fact that the chemistry gets tugged by mostly the main female protagonist and everything. It's alright, but the drama doesn't come towards the finale. It's alright. I like, there's not much I can say towards that without spoiling it, but because of that, it's alright. And that's probably the best criticism I can actually give it. It's not bad. It's not bad, it's not absolutely great. There are several things pushing it down, but it's not bad. So you can kind of see why I'm just saying it's alright. Kimetsu no Yaiba. Okay. That's getting an easy 10 for me. Another season of Demon Slayer, and it is absolutely great. For the people who does say that CGI is absolutely crap and everything, there are much worse CGI stuff out there. In my opinion, considering Ufotable does make a lot of their demonic monsters CGI, in my opinion, it makes a lot of sense to me. So the CGI wasn't a problem in my case. The animation was still brilliant when it was, and especially with its fight scenes and everything. And towards that, we do get to see character development from our next two Hashiras, which is Mitsuru and Muichiro. Basically, I have heard that these two Hashiras are pretty much fan favorites. But this season, I can pretty much see that. Beyond that, with the plot twist that happened in the finale, it's gonna get very interesting. So, a lot of people say that this one was a bit, I'm not gonna say rushed, but it was different in a sense with how they handled the upper moon demons. And I do feel like it is kind of the point, especially with upper 5, I will say, if you guys know which demon I'm talking about. But I think that's kind of the point if you think about what happened in the finale and who the main big bad is and what he wants at the moment. It does make sense. It does kind of make sense why the upper 5 as a villain was treated basically like he didn't exist. He was an absolute joke, and I think that's kind of the point. Upper 4 is pretty much takes the big chunk of this entire season. He got the most development in terms of villainy, but it's not that much. But towards that, it leads up to the plot twist that pretty much changes a lot of things. And considering we are getting into next season for Demon Slayer, it is going to be very interesting where this is going to go. So, overall, as much as it has some problems, it has some problems. I will admit that. It has some problem. It is still absolutely great. I will probably give it a 9 to be absolutely nitpicky in a sense. But it's still good. I want to give it a 10. I want to give it a 10, but with some of the flaws that it has, deliberate ones though, it's still good. It is absolutely good. So, 9, but I want to give it a 10. Dead Mount Depth Play from the same author as Durarara. This one. Oh, yeah. So when I read the synopsis for this one piqued my interest. 100%. It was so good. It is so good. So basically, this is a reverse isekai where basically the villain of the isekai world thing gets transported to our world, and the place he's stuck in is basically a hellhole, and he needs to survive. And the thing is, this villain that got transported to our world is pretty much like the final boss and everything. Yeah, he's a corpse god, and he utilizes that. It is good. It pretty much, it does feel like a renewed Durarara, considering the city as well as some of its characters and all the inner machinations towards how this plot goes and everything. And basically, with the fact that the main protagonist is pretty much an isekai final boss with all of his powers in the real world and see how he adapts, and the fact that all he wants to do is try to survive and make a new life for himself, but the city, as well as other people lurking in the background, wants to touch that beehive to stir him up, so he needs to act and everything so that he can keep his normal life that he got in his new acquired body. Yeah, this is it's very interesting. It is very interesting from where it's going. Favorite character is obviously her. I think I put her in some community posts where I did show her off and everything, but oh my god. Like, she's a psycho crazy one, but I like the psycho crazy one. And the best part is, I believe Dead Mount Dead Play is getting a second season. I believe. Yeah, there it is. Part 2. Because it cut off. It cut off from the finale and everything. So I'm gonna be very happy that this is getting a second season, because both its world building, its characters, and just entire premise and how it's executing everything, it is absolutely great. I believe this and Dangers in My Heart and one other anime are pretty much like the animes that I constantly wanted to watch its next episode every week. So yeah, that's saying something. It is saying something. I know it can get better. So I'm going to give it a 9. Okay, 2 more left. Marginal Service, and this one this one is something else. This one is pretty much the opposite from Dead Mount Dead Play. Not in the worst case, but it stuck to its guns. So basically, like, I believe I didn't read the synopsis for this one, I think, and I just picked it up. This one is basically inspired and has lots of influences towards old American movies. A lot. There's a ton of references with this one, from like Aliens, Predator, Terminator, Jaws. Yeah, it pretty much has that. Its energy for what it does, as ludicrous as it becomes, it's stuck to its guns. I'm not gonna go further into it, like watch it to see what I mean with this one. But with how this one ended, like, this one was a roller coaster for a different reason, but it's alright. I'm not gonna say campy, but it definitely stuck to its guns in terms of execution and everything, for what it was worth. In terms of character development, you do get, like, some of them are stereotypical in a different way, but there is some character development towards some of the main cast. Namely, I believe it's Lyra, Brian, and Zeno pretty much gets the most character development from this. We do get some character development from the others, like Cyrus, Robert, and Bolt, and Rubber. But beyond that, like, the main development comes from Zeno. I don't know what to give this one. Like, it's not horrible. Again, it definitely stuck to its guns, its premise, and its execution. The finale was also pretty good as well. It's good. It's good. It's good for what it was. It stuck to its guns, went 100%, and the fact that it was heavily influenced by old American movies and everything. Yeah, the references. And finally, my most anticipated spring 2023 anime. It freaking delivered. Everybody was talking about Oshinoko. Everybody. And the fact that this is getting a second season is a no-brainer towards me. I knew this was coming up. Yeah, see. I'm not going to go into synopsis or anything with this one. Just watch it. You will see what I mean with this. The characters are absolutely great. And like how they pretty much, in a sense, have like a blunt view of how they see the entertainment industry. Like, it is so good. There's a reason why Oshinoko was my most anticipated anime for spring 2023, and it pretty much delivered, and pretty much is basically like, it is pretty much the anime that I wanted to watch as soon as I finished watching the current week's episode along with it. Like in terms of top 3, as I said, it was Oshinoko, It's Dangers in My Heart, and what was the other one? Yeah, Demon Slayer. Sorry, Demon Slayer. Those 3, I believe, were basically the 3 animes that I wanted to watch and wanted to watch more every week. And it's saying something that Oshinoko was the driving force to pretty much me just to carry on watching this one. This one was great. The fact that it's a second season and everything, absolutely great. Like, watch it. Just watch it. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Just watch it. You'll see what I mean. I can't say beyond that in terms of spoilers, because I can't spoil. I can't spoil anything, because straight from the first episode, it is. I become speechless with this one. Just, you know what I mean. Pretty much my best. Oshinoko was pretty much my favorite anime for this season. Watch it. Just watch it. And I think they'll do it. I believe for the continuing ones, none of them has been released yet. Yeah, these 3 are still in development hell from what I've heard. And most of the movies are not out besides Black Clover, but I will need to actually watch this one sooner or later. So yeah, that will do it for my spring 2023 anime season review. Comment below what you thought about this season, what's your favorite anime for this season, and let me know. With that, LA out.